We had a nice discussion. The students made sure that they had finished off their story archers from last week. They were working on catching up on their Wrinkle in Time assignments that they were working on yesterday. Then we're going to discuss how the book is different from the movie and vice versa. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today is Monday, April 16th, and it is the start of a brand new school week. It is also the day for our computer-based Florida Standards assessment testing. So the whole school is going to be on test mode for the next month. And because I have specials in the morning, more than likely all my specials will be canceled starting this week. So I am not going to count on specials this week, which is fine because I was out on Friday, so I need to catch up with my students. Plus, my students are still on crunch time because they don't take their Florida Standards assessment for reading until next month, May 2nd and 3rd. They do take their math assessment next week, but that's okay. I teach reading and language arts, and I'll support my co-teacher with math and science however she needs me. Well, math, because my fourth graders don't take a science test. They just take a writing, a reading, and a math test, and they've already taken their writing test back in March. So right now it's early in the morning. I just came back from a sub day, so I'll show you how my desk looks in a moment. And after that, I'm gonna head over to my Weight Watchers meeting because today is weighing day and I'm feeling really good about this weighing day. So I'll catch up with you probably by the end of the day because I might not have specials today like I mentioned. See you later. So it's the morning after a sub and my desk looks pretty organized. All the work seems to be inside the folders and the sub plans are right here, along with a note from the sub that is right in here. So yeah, now it's time to get ready for the day. All right, it's the end of the day, and I actually ended up having Spanish this morning because they did not need the Spanish teacher to help with administering the computer-based assessments. 7th grade tested today, and as I heard from the announcements, testing went smoothly. So tomorrow will be 7th grade and 3rd grade. So we're gonna make sure that we behave tomorrow. We're nice and quiet, we usually are, but just keep that in mind as a little mental note. So I did have Spanish this morning, but I did not vlog because I was busy working on some other things in the classroom. After Spanish, we went ahead and we read chapters 11 and 12 of A Wrinkle in Time together. We had a nice discussion. The students made sure that they had finished off their story archers from last week, which I mentioned in my vlog from last week. They also worked on their annotations for chapters 11 and 12. They worked on answering their understanding the story for chapters 9 through 12, which I got from the book Umbrella, which I highly recommend if you like novel studies that are quick and easy with vocabulary and questions and integrating art in some way or another, because her pages where you do the summaries, she integrates like a little box where the students draw a picture that represents what those chapters were about. So I will link her in the description box below. I really like that TPT store, the book Umbrella. She has a variety of different novel studies on different books, and I have a couple of them already from books that I do read with my students. So they make sure that they finish that. Now, for some of my students that were done with all of their work, I went ahead and I wanted to make something quick and creative for them to kind of do related to the book. So let me show you what I put together for them. All right, so these are called character ties, and this is an idea that I got from an ebook that I got from Scholastic. It's titled 25 Fun and Fabulous Literature Response Activities and Rubrics. It does have this handout that you give the students. It has a page that explains the activity. The page after this shows the rubric. Now, they do not include the tie template, so I created this one really quickly on PowerPoint just using 2 trapezoids and a triangle at the bottom. And I told the students to not get a tie until they finish this. Basically, they choose 1 character from the story. They choose 6 character descriptions, and I'm telling them to focus on character traits, not how they look on the outside, but personality traits and examples that support their choice. And then they have to find images or symbols to represent each of these character descriptions to include on their tie. Let me show you the example that I put together to show them how their finished product would look. Here's my example. Of course, I did not choose the character from A Wrinkle in Time for obvious reasons. I don't want the students to copy anything that I put together. I need them to use their own thinking and exercise their brains to think about the character they choose and 6 descriptions. So I chose Flora and Ulysses, and I chose her dad, George Buckman. So I chose 6 descriptions that describe him. So love comics, and I chose an example and I put the page number. He's an accountant, he's lonely, he's a careful driver. He would make an excellent spy, according to Flora, and he is capacious of heart, which Dr. Mishan mentions on page 129. So then I went ahead and I chose a symbol or a picture to represent each of these. So love comics, I'm going to draw a comic book. He's an accountant, I'm going to put a money symbol. He's lonely, it's going to be a rain cloud. He's a careful driver, so I'm just going to draw a car. He would make an excellent spy, so I'll draw a spy. And he's capacious of heart, so I would draw a big heart. So this is what my final product looks for George Buckman's character type. So as you can see, came out really cute in the end. And I showed the students how I colored it with crayons. So here is the comic book. He loves the illuminated adventures of Incandesto, which he reads to his daughter, and she ends up loving it herself. He's an accountant. He's lonely. He is capacious of heart. He's an excellent driver, and he could be a spy. So yeah, I can't wait to see the character ties that the students will come up with as they finish this assignment, because I told everybody, even if you don't do it today, everybody will do it as a reading grade. So that's basically all I have for today. So now I'm just going to gather my things so I can go home, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. So it's Tuesday, April 17th, and today is the first day that our third graders take their FSA reading assessment, which is a very important assessment in third grade. If our third graders do not pass their FSA reading assessment or their portfolio or the other alternative assessment, they actually do get retained into third grade and cannot go on to fourth grade. That's just Florida law. So I am sending out really good vibes to all the third graders in Florida, and I hope you all rock that test and show everything you know. And a special, very, very special shout out to my nephew, Alexander, who is a third grader and is taking his reading test session 1 today. Tia Mari loves you so, so much, and I know you're gonna do a fantastic job. And I am also sending good vibes out to my niece Vanessa, who's in 4th grade and is probably soon going to take her reading and math FSA assessment as well. So best of luck to all of the students out there that are testing all over the state of Florida. I am wishing you all the very, very best. Just rock it out. You know you got this. Just show what you know and do your best. All right, so it's another day in my classroom, and actually I share a wall with a third grade class. So we have to be extra quiet today because we want to make sure that those students have the best testing conditions so that they can do their very best on the exam. So for today, my students are doing pretty much quiet work at their desk. They were working on catching up on their Wrinkle in Time assignments that they were working on yesterday, along with having a little review for the vocabulary test, Unit 9, that they're going to take this morning. So I can't wait to share more with you. If I don't catch up with you a little later time before the end of the day, I will see you at the end of the day. Maybe I can also show you some of the other things that I am planning on putting on my Teachers Pay Teachers store pretty soon, hopefully this week. I'm trying to make time because some people have been asking me for a few things. So I do want to try and see if I can put it all together and post it on my Pencils and Magic Wands Teachers Pay Teachers and Teachers Notebook account. All right, so I'll see you later. Right now is actually my planning time, and I was just on Instagram checking some posts, and I happened to see Michelle Ferre's Pocketful of Primaries Insta story. She was just giving a reflection of her race experience yesterday. She ran the Boston Marathon yesterday, and I just got to give a quick shout out to Michelle. Michelle, you are amazing. What an inspiration to have been able to do this race, which I know was under extreme weather conditions. I mean, just from what I saw and what I read, it felt like 20 degrees. There was torrential rain. There were 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I mean, it was just very uncomfortable. I saw the pictures, I saw you, but you know what? You are just amazing, all just for doing it and completing it and making it to that finish line. And for that, I thank you so much, because that is such an inspiration and motivation. And girl, you did it. You are so strong and so inspiring. It was just an amazing accomplishment. So props to you for doing it, and way to go. So just wishing you the best and hope that you can rest up and recover. All right, so let me get back to doing some planning things, and I'll see you later. All right, so it's the end of the day now, and the students in both classes were able to watch about 20 minutes of the Wrinkle in Time from 2003, and we kind of discussed a couple of the things that were a little bit the same and different from the book, so that was really good. And now I'm just getting ready to go home and see my nephew to surprise him with something special, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is now Wednesday, April 18th, and I am wearing my cat ears again because I am officially calling my Wednesdays Meow Days. That's right. So today the students are going to finish watching A Wrinkle in Time, and then we're going to discuss how the book is different from the movie and vice versa. We're going to work on another thinking map called the double bubble, which is perfect for comparing and contrasting. All right, so let's get to it. I'll see you later. All right, so it's the end of the day. The students were watching A Wrinkle in Time. Both classes haven't finished yet. I think one class has like about 40 minutes left and the other class has like 30 minutes left. But they'll finish it tomorrow. We'll go ahead and do the compare and contrast. We'll do some FSA reading practice, and that'll be that for tomorrow, which I will let you know. I just found out I will not have specials tomorrow, so I am ready for that. And I might not have specials on Friday either, but that's fine. So I am teacher tired right now, so I'm going to go home, rest, and relax. See you tomorrow. Hello, and welcome to Friday. Yeah, and I know you must be wondering, what happened to Thursday? Well, yesterday was a very busy day, and I didn't have planning, and at the end of the day, I was so tired that I just decided to go home. But basically, what we ended up doing yesterday, but before I tell you, let me roll the day clip. Thursday's day clip. Now, all right, so like I was saying, so what we ended up doing on Thursday was we continued to watch A Wrinkle in Time, and my morning group, which is my homeroom group, finished the movie, and then they started working on a double bubble to compare the book A Wrinkle in Time to the 2004 movie A Wrinkle in Time. That was also done by Disney. So I didn't get a chance to film the students working on it because I was trying to work on an example as well while they were working on their actual double bubble. But let me go ahead and show you some of the student work right now. All right, so before I show you the students' double bubbles for A Wrinkle in Time, I wanted to show you mine. Basically, when I started getting them all together, I asked them, okay, so what is the similarity that the book and the movie have? So the same characters. And what is the difference that the book has that the movie doesn't have? Meg goes against it at the end. And what is the difference that the movie has that the book doesn't have? Meg goes against it and the man with the red eyes. So once we all came up with these three, I told them, okay, now you need to come up with 4 more so that you have 5 differences for the book, 5 similarities for the book and movie, and 5 differences for the movie. So this is mine. I actually ended up coming up with like 7 different ones. And I actually also had to provide the students with a different example of what a double bubble is with another different topic because some of them were not understanding that the middle bubbles need to be connected because these are things that the book and the movie both have. So let me show you what I had to do in order to further explain how to make a double bubble. I actually ended up making another double bubble on dogs and cats, showing them how are they alike, how are they different, so that they could understand. So let me show you some of the examples of the double bubbles that the students created. Okay, here's one. And I told them not to color inside of the bubbles because it's hard to read what they write inside of the bubbles if they color the bubbles. But I did tell them to outline the bubbles and the lines, and some of them decided to color the background, which I think is very creative. Here's another one. So as you can see, the students did a pretty good job doing these double bubbles, and this is just my homeroom. My other class didn't finish the movie, so they will have to do this once they finish the movie, but basically it's a great activity to help the students compare and contrast prose versus a screenplay. So those are their double bubbles. And then the other thing that they were working on was making sure that they completed all assignments that I gave them since last Friday. And like I've mentioned in previous vlogs, I don't know what it is about this year, but both of my classes, one class more than the other, usually has a problem finishing their work at a decent amount of time. So along with making sure that they did their double bubble, they were also working on making sure they finished their annotations for chapters 11 and 12, finished their story arch, which I also showed in last week's vlog, to finish their understanding the story for chapters 9 and 10, and then 11 and 12, to finish their character ties. So they had a lot of different work to do, but I didn't introduce any new work other than their vocabulary booklet, which absent-minded me. First of all, on Monday, we didn't have access to the copy machine that is given to us teachers. Second of all, Tuesday, I completely forgot to give them the booklet for this week's vocabulary workshop unit. So then I gave it to them on Wednesday, but I did give them time in class to work on it so that they didn't have to do too much of it during homework. And we did go over the word meanings through the introductory text and also some examples through the match the meaning and the synonyms and antonyms. We went over that yesterday as well. So I gave them plenty of time in class to make sure they studied their words and they knew their words. And a lot of the kids told me, Miss Sanchez, these words are super simple. So that was also good. But next week I have to be better with getting the booklet to them. Although next week I will not be giving homework because they are testing on Wednesday and Thursday. And usually the week of testing, I don't like to give students more things to do because the test as it is very stressful, so I don't want to add added stress to that. So next week, the vocabulary workshop that we're going to be working on, it's going to be in class that they have to do the booklet. They don't have to take it home. We'll be studying the words in class, and then they can take their test on Friday. It was a simple test. Most of the kids finish in about 5 minutes, the most 10 minutes, but usually the whole class is done under 10 minutes. So that tells me that one, the words are pretty simple for them to learn and to apply, and two, the test, is not that long for them to show the knowledge of those words. Yeah, that's basically what we did. My afternoon class did not finish the Wrinkle in Time movie, but that's okay because I let them know that they would finish it today, Friday. But before I talk more about today, Friday, let me roll today, Friday's day clip. All right, so again, like I mentioned before, welcome to Friday. And as you all know, Friday is my Funky T-shirt Friday, which I know if you've been watching my vlogs for a while, you probably missed it in last week's video because I didn't come to school last Friday. But for today, Friday, I am wearing my Ghostbusters shirt. And this is a nice, cutesy Ghostbusters shirt. When there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Yeah, that's me, cheesy and corny all at the same time. My students love it though. All right, so today, Friday, in the morning, and I was coming in late today because today I had my follow-up appointment with my doctor related to what happened to my face last week. If you don't remember, my muscle here on my right side of my face kind of tensed and twitched up. So we were trying to figure out if there was anything of concern that we needed to address. And all my blood work came out pretty good. Everything is great, except for some vitamin deficiencies, like I need to take vitamin D supplements and iodine supplements. But the doctor just mentioned to me that he probably thinks it was just an electrolyte imbalance, and he wants me to keep a big bottle of water on my desk so that I remember to drink throughout the day and make sure I drink about a gallon a day, he said. He actually said he wants me to drink a gallon of water each day. So that's going to be tough for me to get into the habit because, once I start teaching, I'm on and I forget to do everything else, including drinking water. But I'm going to try my best to make an effort to drink the water because I don't want my face muscles twitching up or having muscle spasms all over my body. It's just not fun and it's painful, so no. So yeah, I came in late. I came around maybe 9:40 in the morning, so it wasn't super late. I picked up my students. I had already separated them into different classrooms and I left them the Unit 5 Week 3 Wonders assessment for them to do, which I'll show you in a moment. And when I gathered them, they had kind of finished it. So I gave them time for ketchup and pickles, and I put my slide up on the board so that they can see what were the assignments that they needed to complete in order. And so that by the certain time they were done with most of the things that they were supposed to be done with. And then we went over that Wonders assessment. And I actually gave all the students a colored pen so that they could correct their own paper. No pencils were allowed because we're not allowed to change any answers. And we discussed the answers to the questions on the board and as a whole class discussion. So that was really good. I'm going to continue to do that within the next 2 weeks as they get ready to take their FSA reading assessment. And then the students took their vocabulary workshop unit 10 test. So I am going to grade all those papers and give the students feedback. Oh yeah, after they took their vocabulary unit 10 test, I went over the answers with them. So a lot of them felt like, oh yeah, I did a great job. I only missed one, because they remember pretty much what they answered on the test. So that was really good that I was able to do all of that. It seems like a lot, but I got it done. And then in my afternoon class, they were also doing ketchup and pickles, but then I completely forgot and I stopped them while they were doing their test that the morning group did. And I said, we got to finish watching A Wrinkle in Time, because they still had 17 minutes left. So they watched it and then they continued working on their test. They turned in the work. They completed all the other ketchup and pickle assignments. And then we had recess. And during recess, which I'm thinking of maybe next week, Friday, having a student film part of it. Lately, during recess, I have been doing some Disney karaoke. So I take my Unimoso, whatever that mic is called, the one with the cute lights. I use my mic and I sing into it while I play a track of Disney music, and I just sing to the students. Oh, well, we have the disco light at the top of the classroom going around and the lights are off. So it's like relaxing time plus the teacher is singing time. And I think today some of the students were trying to videotape me, and I said, no videotaping without permission. But it was a lot of fun, and it actually was good to end the day like that, just singing karaoke along with my students. So that was amazing. So before I finish off with this vlog, let me show you some of those assignments that they were working on today. All right, so this was the Wonders assessment that the class was working on today, Friday. And this is my example, and I like to make my annotations and my selective underlining. And after the students worked on it, we went over the answers to each of these questions and talked about the text structure of problem and solution, as well as some of the Greek roots that they saw within the text, and they also had questions for those. We went over the type of questions. This is a multi-select. They have to pick 2 choices, and I tell them, make sure you circle or highlight those keywords so that you know exactly how to answer the question. They read another article, and these are pair passages. They're about the same topic. And they had different questions. This one is about main idea and the text evidence that supports that main idea. Another multi-select, another Greek root question, or questions in this case, and another part A and part B question related to the text structure. And they had one question, which is a short response on the 2 passages. They needed to talk about how the text structure was similar. And I tell the students to wrap their answer, and wrap stands for restate the question, answer it, prove it with text evidence. So that's basically what this is. All right, so that was the test that they worked on today. And the other thing they worked on was their vocabulary workshop test, and they also tried to finish up with their other assignments. I quickly wanted to share some of the ties that the students have completed. This is from my homeroom class. And again, the ties, they had to choose 6 traits of the character and find 6 symbols that represented those traits. Of course, these ties are not the only thing that is part of the assignment. They also had to complete the actual sheet where they had to list the character traits and the evidence to support that trait to prove that that character did have that trait. So of course, when I'm grading this, I'm not just looking at the tie and its completion. I'm also looking at the paper that goes along with them and why they chose the symbols that they did to represent all these characters. There's a lot of Meg ties, but I just saw Aunt Beast, and this might not be completed, but we'll see. Aunt Beast, Meg, let me go back. Aunt Beast, nope, that's Meg. Aunt Beast, Meg. Here's Charles Wallace. Aunt Beast. They really love Aunt Beast. Meg. Meg, and Meg, and we have some other students that haven't finished, and I also have my other class ties. But as you can see, they really like Meg and Aunt Beast, and it's sad that the new movie that Disney came out with this year, 2018 Wrinkle in Time movie, it doesn't have the whole scene in the book with Aunt Beast, which was a really, really good scene, and I wish they would have included, but hey, such is life. So yeah, that's basically some of the assignments that we were working on this week. Oh, and here's a little extra. So what was I doing while my class was watching the movie? I was watching the movie as well, but I was doodling because my brain needs to do 100 things a minute, I guess. So I went on a unicorn frenzy. So I was doodling all these unicorns, some elephants, some mermaids, because I just found out there is such a thing as Mermaid in May, where artists draw mermaids every day for the entire month of May. And as you know, I'm an artist. I have my own Instagram art account called Artistic Whims. So I will be trying to draw some mermaids during Mermay. And I drew myself like as a superhero. I was kind of inspired by some of the other artists that I follow. I drew a couple of kitties, another elephant holding a balloon. Here's more unicorn, unique. Another unicorn. Mermaid. Now this is a fun one. It's like she is split up in the screen. Actually, it might be a different one because she has a different top. But here's a mermaid. I kind of like was playing around. Here's another unicorn. Another unicorn. More unicorns. I'm in a unicorn frenzy lately, I guess. Unicorn. I need to do a collage of unicorns. Another unicorn, yay. Unicorn, and a fun little doodle with flowers, stars, and hearts, and a whole bunch of squiggly, swirly lines. Yep, so that's a little fun. A whole bunch of post-it doodles. All right, so that is my vlog of everything that we did this week in my classroom. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and also make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. See you next week.